Hey guys, the real Epic Gamer back with another video. Also, just putting this out there, not relevant to the video at all, but if you're wondering why I changed my name from Epic Gamer to the real Epic Gamer is because there were approximately 5,000 people named Epic Gamer, and even if you searched me up, you still wouldn't be able to find me. So I changed it to the real Epic Gamer, even though I have nowhere near as amount of subs as the most amount of subs as the real Epic Game. Okay, yeah, it's confusing, but there's no way you could find me. So yeah. Anyway, I am playing Realm of the Mad God, and if you haven't heard of this game, just search it up. I suggest watching Bakiri Box 12's beginner guide to get some stuff. And but if you have played Realm of the Mad God, today I am showing you how to beat the hardest dungeon in the game, the Pirate Cave. Now, the Pirate Cave is extremely hard to beat. I would definitely recommend tier 10 gear or higher. Um, so it is extremely difficult, guys. You are going to definitely want to be prepared. It's also recommended you have a divine pet. You're risking it with a legendary pet, so also make sure you're prepared with that. Yeah, so basically all I have to do now is wait for a pirate cave to drop, and I will be in there, so you can just watch the gameplay or skip ahead. I'll leave it in the description when the pirate cave starts. But if you haven't played before, then you can watch and get a grip of how the game works. And I guess I can explain that now, actually. So, basically, when you start, you get to pick a class. Right now, I am a huntress. Uh, and each class is different. They hold different weapons and items, and they each have a different ability, as well as different armor. But all the rings are the same. So you kill these enemies, and they will drop loot. Now the loot is labeled by what tier they are. So the higher tier, the better. But there's also UT items, which mean untiered. And untiered items, you kind of just decide for yourself which one you would like better. They're not necessarily better or worse than one each other. It just depends what kind of player you're going for. Like if you want to move very quickly or have high defense, then you would go for something else. Uh, and then there are ST or set tiered items. And what set tiered items are, they give you a boost if you have the whole set. So it's like if you have full candy armor, it'll give you a boost, and you have like candy weapon, candy ability. These are just examples. I'm not even sure if there is candy set. Pretty sure there is. If you find a Candyland hunting grounds. Um, but yeah. So that's pretty much it. You also have stats, and when you level up, it'll randomly give you higher stats. As you can see here, there's all your stats. You can wear rings and armor, which boost your defense and other stats. And you can also drink potions, which most players label as just pots instead of saying potions. And you can max a stat uh, in which then you cannot upgrade that stat anymore. It's the highest level possible, although that is pretty difficult to do. I would not recommend trying it for a new player. You should get your grasp on the game definitely before trying it. And if you're here to figure out how to beat Pirate Cave and you have not gone 8-8 yet, you should definitely turn back now. I have lost at least 3 8-8 nights with a tier 4 defense ring on to Pirate Cave. Is extremely dangerous. You do not want to underestimate it. So if you're not even 8-8, don't even try it. Or even if you are 8-8, you're probably gonna want to be already fairly well skilled to be able to take it on. So yeah, that's basically how the game works. See, tier 2 crossbow. I finally got some gear. I haven't gotten any armor yet. And then there's also these quests which you get, and they get harder the higher level you go. So, yeah. And each monster type has different moves, and this guy I'm fighting here, as you can see, he actually spawns minions that try and fight you as well. So, yeah. Now this is the lowlands. There are 4 different lands. There's the shorelands, which are just tiny things that don't really matter. You can destroy them at level 1. Then there is the lowlands, which I'm in right now. The monsters are still extremely weak. I'm gonna take this tier 3 bow. They're still extremely weak, but much harder than shoreland monsters. And then there's midlands, which it's fairly hard to dodge what they send at you, but they don't do a lot of damage. Now there is a forest maze, but we don't want forest maze. We want pirate cave. And after midlands, it is highlands. So highlands, the things, it's easier to dodge, but they do a ton of damage. You definitely want to try and stay safe in highlands. And then there's godlands, which is the hardest. Things are really powerful, have a lot of health, but they dropped a lot of high tier dungeons. Now, look, just because Pirate Cave drops in the shoreline and in the lowlands does not mean it's easy. It is the actual hardest in the game. Now, I may look like I'm destroying these guys fast, but that is because I am very skilled and I could die very easily in here, especially because I'm 0-8 right now. So you really have to be able to dodge, so unless you're extremely good, I would not recommend. If they hit me once, it would be complete game over. So you have to be extremely careful when dealing with these guys. Now, so let's get to the different enemy types. There's these guys which kind of just stand around, the people with the blonde hair. They kind of just sit there. I don't think I've ever even seen them attack. I think they're just human shields. Then there's just the regular pirates, which you saw on the shorelines. If you're even coming here, I'm sure you can deal with those. Those are very easy to deal with. And then there are the parrots, which are minions of the bucketeer, and the bucketeers, they shoot these very powerful cannons, and I mean extremely powerful. Even with max defense, they could wipe you out instantly, so you have to be very careful when dealing with them. And then there's monkeys as well, which also just spawn courtesy of the cannoneers. Okay, we can't let it hit me or it's game over for sure. So we're getting through. You have to work through the elaborate maze of the pirate cave to try and find where the boss is. I don't think he's that difficult to find, but it can be rather tricky sometimes. And while looking for him, you do need to be extremely careful, like we discussed before, because if they hit you, that's game. Especially if you don't have max defense. So you definitely need to stay careful. Ring of defense. Okay. So yeah, that's all the different enemy types. You can also watch how I evade these. You kind of can just move around, but you also want to, when dealing with the cannoneers, you want to kind of just move back and forth like this, and they usually will not be able to hit you unless you get very unlucky. Okay, we have a lot of cannoneers and the boss in this room. To deal with the boss, it's definitely better to be ranged. I'm not exactly sure how you're even going to deal with this if you are not ranged, because you have to be so close and it's just so hard to dodge the cannonballs, which would just obliterate you. So that is why I am on a Huntress ranged. Okay, now keep in mind that this drops the absolute best gear in the game. I got so many good items off this, so definitely be careful, but it definitely gives good rewards if you can make it.